Wow, I'm so excited to be doing this, and I'm so excited that you're here with me. I'm going to make sure that we feel that we feel that we're here together, that there is nothing separating us. And that's what I know about the entire universe, is that it looks like we're all separate, but we're not. We're not. There's this line of connection between each one of us, between everything, because it is that one thing that has created us, that holds us together, that moves and animates all of life. So I'm super excited to know that it's here right now. This is our very first time doing this, my very first time doing anything intentionally on a video and putting it out there for the public to see it. And I'm also choosing to see it as love streaming, okay? I think Facebook calls it live streaming, but we're love streaming here this morning. And because this is new, I don't know exactly everything. In fact, 1 minute ago, we just found out about a watch party. We'll do that next week. I'm just looking for you to give me feedback and let me know that you were on and all of that in another way. You know, I was scrambling this week with all the news. I was scrambling to see, looking through all my notebooks from ministerial school for that one class that I had on what to do if there's a pandemic, what to do if there's a national global state of emergency, you know, how was I supposed to respond to that? I couldn't find my notes anywhere, so we're winging it. These are cautionary times, right? And I think it calls for all of us to come together in a way that maybe is uncomfortable for some of us, maybe stretches some of us. But people with underlying chronic medical conditions, they're specifically saying heart, lung, and diabetes are particularly susceptible to this virus. People with depressed immune systems, that would be me, right now, temporarily, and my beloved older persons. I don't know.
Older persons.
I don't know what that age is. We're just kind of wondering what that means, you know? I just had a birthday Monday. Doesn't mean me. But they're asking us to avoid crowds. And if you're going to assembly in 250 or less in Sarasota County, people 250 number, then there's other protocols that you need to follow. So if we were to attempt to follow those protocols in a way that we normally congregate on Sunday morning, which is at the Sarasota Garden Club, we wouldn't be able to do it because they're recommending staying 6 feet away from people. You know, we're averaging 90 people on a Sunday morning. I don't know how you stay 6 feet away from 90 people in a room, you know, this big. So, and the other piece of it was, too, is that you're supposed to be wiping everything down and having hand sanitizer. Well, couldn't find any. And we don't own the property. We rent the property. So the maintenance and the cleaning of the property is not within our domain. So we really have no control over that. And so this morning, we're choosing love in the face of fear. Okay? We're choosing love, and we're choosing to see these difficulties and challenges as opportunities, and that's what we always have in front of us, that ability to do. So if you join me, let's just go into consciousness. I know that there's a place that I can go that is creative, that is loving and supportive, that is available 24/7, that is always open. And it's right here. It's right now. I carry it within me. As I said a minute ago, there is absolutely no separation between nothing, between anything, between any person, and that source and substance of life itself. Call it what you will. That source and substance of all life. Spirit, essence, energy, universe, source energy, love, the divine, God. Whatever you choose to call this thing that has so loved each one of us, that has brought us from the invisible into the visible form, by means of itself, for an expression and an expansion of itself, by means of us. That's the reciprocal nature. And that's what I participate in this moment and every moment, whether I recognize it or not. I know this to be my truth, that I am always in, of, I am always immersed in, filled with, animated by. I am always one with that source that has given me life, that is my life, and I am its expression here in form. That's what I know for myself. And so now I consciously speak my word, knowing the power of this truth to create a life that I want to live, that is worth living. And I know this for myself, and I know it for each person in this room. I know it for each person that is within the sound of my voice. No matter where you are, I know this for everyone. This is our truth. There is only one source, one substance of life itself. And it expresses by means of us, in, as, and through. What a grand idea. What a fabulous truth for us to live from. And so in the face of any conflict, any condition which is less than desirable, I know this truth rises me to a higher vibration, rises me to a place where I recognize this truth above the fray. And so that is our intention here this morning together. That we look at condition, we don't ignore what is going on, but yet we know there is a greater truth. And that truth is our unity. That truth is the underlying and animating love in the universe. We seek that now and forever. And we have to go nowhere to do it. We stay right where we are. Because it is here, it is who and what we are. And so it is. Well, that's pretty fun too. To pray online, imagining all the beautiful people listening in. What a fabulous thing. So this morning we have with us one of our best buds, Len Seligman.
Hi, so great to be joining you this morning in this virtual way or whatever way we can do. So, just following up on what Theresa was saying, I've got a chant for us to sing. You can sing it right at home, and just know that as you're singing, you're not just in your living room singing by yourself. We're all creating a vibration together. And so, what is that source that Theresa was just talking about? Well, one powerful name for that source is love. And so this is a song. It's very simple. You'll learn it in a second. I am born from the strength of love. I am born from the strength of love. I am born from the strength of love. All that I am today, all that I bring today, I know that it's enough. Oh, I am born from the strength of love. I am breathing the strength of love. And then it's all that I am today, all that I bring today. I know that it's enough. And just feel that. You are enough. I am enough. We are enough to be that love. I am breathing the strength of love. I am breathing the strength of love. I am breathing the strength of love. All that I am today, all that I bring today, I know that it's enough. Oh, I am breathing the strength of love. I am living the strength of love. So feel that. There's a lot of fear, swirling around, and it's easy for that to kind of enter into our systems. And know that, okay, you can acknowledge that, you can bow to that fear and say, yeah, it's there. But the love is stronger. It's always stronger than the fear. I am living the strength of love. I am living the strength of love. I am living the strength of love. All that I am today, all that I bring today, I know that it's enough. Oh, I am living the strength of love. Oh, I am born from the strength of love.
Beautiful. Thank you, Len. Thank you so much. We have another treat right now. Today we had planned, and so we're intending to go through with that plan right now, to deliver our 2019 fourth quarter tithe to that tithe recipient. And we are a tithing organization, and what that means is we take 10% from all our collections, all our offerings. We take 10%, and we have decided that gets split 50-50 with our home office, the Centers for Spiritual Living, that are teaching this philosophy globally, all over the world. And so we support them in that work that they do and how they support us in return. And then we give the other portion to a local not-for-profit. And what we're looking for is where we see Spirit working in the world. That's exactly it. Where we see the hand and the feet and the heart and the mind of the divine at work. And so two of our congregation is Karen Ireland and Forest Paradise, and they brought this organization to our attention. And the board, many of the board members went and listened to them speak at Fogartyville, who has also been a tithe recipient of ours, for the good work that they do in the county. But so I have here Greg Cruz and also Kathy Bryant from Streets of Paradise. And so I am presenting them on behalf of our congregation and the board. Why don't both of you just come up and join me on the couch? This is a check for $900.
Wow.
And we're
Thank you very much.
Yeah, very excited. And so please, if the two of you would just tell them what you do. What are you doing in Sarasota?
Well, Greg started it. I don't know why he's looking at me to answer this question. He started it. And started out just an outreach, like you said, the hands and feet on the streets, building relationships, taking love to the community, and really forming relationships that bring people forward, that build us all up together, whether that was the relationships with volunteers or the people on the streets or the community that we serve as a whole, just bringing everyone up. And from that, we were given the opportunity to furnish houses, and we are in the process, in the midst of this month. We went from 200 moves. We started March 18th was our first move of last year, March, somewhere around there. And we're in the middle of 300 move-ins this month.
Wow.
100 move-ins. So
Wow.
we completed 200 the 1st of March, and our 2-year anniversary will be March 18th for the organization as a whole. So this is a really amazing time for this offering that you've given. We were just able to put the down payment and make the order for a shower trailer, which will give people on the street the opportunity to shower and do laundry. If you work day labor or are not in a facility, you don't have those opportunities. So this will allow us to be able to take the shower to the community. And we have been given a matching grant of $20,000, a matching gift of $20,000 in memory of Theresa there. And so this is actually getting us, it's being doubled. So thank you so much for everybody that helped us. This is being matched for the truck, the generator, the washer and dryer, and the delivery of the shower trailer to get it on the road and get it out to the people we serve.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So thank you so much.
Dre, anything to add?
Yeah, I'd just like to add that, the shower trailer is something that when we were brand new as an organization, we realized that it was a tool that other places across the country and other countries were actually using this tool, making it available for homeless communities. So this is, 2 years in the making, and to see it coming to fruition finally is just great. And, it couldn't have been done without the overwhelming community support. So we definitely appreciate the community organizations like yours. And, and I just want to point out that the trailer will also be ADA compliant. It will be the only trailer in Southwest Florida, actually, where we will be able to, not only able-bodied people will be able to shower, but anybody who's in a wheelchair or anything like that will be able to access the trailer and shower, which is a big thing.
And that was kind of a two-part request, because we had even people in housing that were not able to take showers because they didn't have ADA accommodations in their homes. So this will allow us to even be able to serve.
That's one of the things that really struck me so wonderful about the night that I was listening to what you were doing, was your open-heartedness and absolute commitment to, this is for everyone that needs help.
Yeah.
That we're not distinguishing between able bodies or not, or any of the other classifications that maybe some other organizations might say, well, if you don't comply, we don't supply, maybe. And so I love what you're doing.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
I love
so
what you're
much.
doing, so
Thanks
thank
for
you.
And thank you for this gift so much. Like Kathy said, it will be doubled because of our matching grant. So this is actually an $1,800 check towards our new truck that is needed to pull the shower trailer. So this came at the perfect time. We really
Excellent.
appreciate you all. And I would like to say thank you so much to Karen Ireland and Forest Paradise for, having so much love and believing in what we do as much as we do, and bringing it, to you all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks. It won't be the last time you hear from us.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll be in touch for sure with more opportunities.
Yeah, and hopefully next time we can hug and shake hands, because we're people, and I can't do the elbow thing for too long. It's driving me crazy. I just want to hug the camera right now.
It's the big virtual embrace.
So thank you all so much. Really, this means so much to us as an organization. We really appreciate you all supporting us. Thank you.
Great.
All right.
Thank you. I have I think just like everybody else, we have had so many wonderful things swirling around with these changes that we're having to make. On Facebook, I've seen some beautiful poems and prayers, and we're going to share a couple of those this morning. This one is called Prayer for a Pandemic, and it was written by Cameron Bellum, a young woman from Seattle. And she's famous this morning, I'm certain, by how many times I've seen this shared. Prayer for a Pandemic. May we who are merely inconvenienced remember those whose lives are at stake. May we who have no risk factors remember those most vulnerable. May we who have the luxury of working from home remember those who must choose between preserving their health or making the rent. May we who have the flexibility to care for our children when their schools close remember those who have no options. May we who have to cancel our trips remember those who have no safe place to go. May we who are losing our margin money in the tumult of the economic market remember those who have no margin at all. May we who settle in for a quarantine at home remember those who have no home. As fear grips our country, let us choose love. During this time when we cannot physically wrap our arms around each other, let us yet find ways to be the loving embrace of God to our neighbors. Amen.
Mm.
What you got, Lynn? You got another one for us?
That's so beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, this one is, this is a song I wrote, and it was based on a line from Hildegard of Bingen, a wonderful German mystic from the Middle Ages. And she said, let me live my life as a feather on the breath of God. And when I heard that, I said, I didn't say, I just, it just became clear to me. It's like, bing, that must be a song. Sometimes the song angels just visit, right? You who breathes my breath, who brings a brand new start, the one who lives inside my soul, the one that beats my heart. Let me live my life as a feather on the breath of God, on the breath of God. You are the morning dew. You are in every flower's bloom. As I walk on this summer day, I smell your sweet perfume. Let me live my life as a feather on the breath of God, on the breath of God. So every verse ends with, let me live my life as a feather. Let me live my life as a feather on the breath of God, on the breath of God. As you walk among the broken ones, help us to live anew. Please hold the ones that need you the most. Let me live my life loving you. You are an ocean without any shore. You are the whirling of the galaxies. You are so vast I will never understand. Yet you're closer to me than myself. Let me live my life as a feather on the breath of God. On the breath of God. You who breathes my breath, to you I belong. Help me to remember you, the source of every song. Let me live my life as a feather on the breath of God. On the breath of God. Let me live my life as a feather on the breath of God. On the breath of God.
Thank you. I'm liking this so far. Really, I'm loving it. Yeah. It's working. It's working for me. I hope it's working for you. So what I want to talk about, as I said, was this idea that that we can choose love in a time of fear, which I think many people are feeling that. There's such a thing as fear-based thinking, which is a reacting kind of modality. And we could choose, though, a proactive, expecting positive outcomes kind of thing. They're choices, right? In Science of Mind, and this teaching and this philosophy, we have a little catchphrase called treat and move your feet. Treat and move your feet. We're talking about prayer, affirmative prayer when we say treat. Treat and move your feet. So, but I would tell you that even in our teaching, among our teachers of this philosophy, is does that mean we have to just accept what is? And we can look at that kind of an attitude as a resistance to what is? And what is resistance other than really being fear? So the opportunity then is to trust, to move forward in faith, with faith and expectancy. But it requires us to take action, to be in motion, not just to be in the lotus position and trusting that everything's working out. I believe we do both. I believe we do both. Here's one of my favorite Ernest Holmes quotes. Our mind should swing from inspiration to action, from contemplation to accomplishment, from prayer to performance. Yeah, this would be a well-balanced existence, he said. And I agree wholeheartedly, and that's really what I want to talk about this morning, that we live both in the spiritual world and in the world of conditions. Both, simultaneously. That's the treat and move your feet. That is, we are in the one, of the one, as the one, in the world. Right? In the world. So, this is life. This is how life operates. This is my life. And so it's all I have right now. It's all I have in the midst of this pandemic. It's all I have. But isn't that so rich? Isn't that so much? And it's all I have to work with, is that idea that I've got both feet planted in the spiritual and the physical world. And so I'm doing my best to navigate that. We can't expect God to do something for us that we're not willing to do for ourselves. And I'll take that to myself. I can't expect the divine to do something for me that I'm not willing to do for myself? If I want peace and calm, can I be raging and expect the divine to give me peace and calm? Or do I have to remove myself and go sit on my cushion and meditate? It's a choice, right? If I'm looking for guidance, but all I'm doing is running my mouth, am I going to find guidance? Or do I need to be still and listen? We live in both worlds, moment by moment. So fear-based thinking is reacting, and it creates a lot of chaos for ourselves and everyone around us. And the first thing we need to remember is to become aware of that, the awareness. And one of the awarenesses that I'm having right now, this week particular, is that not everyone agrees with whether we should have stayed home and done this Facebook Live, or we should have been at the garden club like we normally were. Not everybody agreed. There were difference of opinions on that. And pardon me, but some people are running around scared shitless, and they're buying all the toilet paper, right? They're buying all the toilet paper. I mean, because they just, I don't understand that concept. You're probably not going to need more toilet paper, than you normally would. But some people are so caught up in that fear-based thinking and that chaos. But what I suggest for us is to find compassion within ourselves, to find compassion within ourselves for those times that we fly off the handle, or those times that we find ourselves spiraling into chaos, right? Or confused thinking. There's other people then on the opposite end of that spectrum from the toilet paper buyers are the ones that think that it's a hoax, that there's some conspiracy going on, that this isn't really happening. And then the majority of us are swinging in the middle of that spectrum, right? We're just flying around, hopefully not haphazardly though. And that's what I really think is possible for us, is to recognize that we have both feet planted and feel them firmly planted in both, and then we can respond from that way. The second thing that came up for me that this week is I was astounded to realize that this virus is political. It's political. Wow. How crazy is that? How can a virus be political? But of course it is, right? It is, because policies are made and to protect people. So it is political. I chose at the beginning of this month to depart from the Centers for Spiritual Living monthly theme and to instead align myself with the Association for Global New Thoughts Season for Nonviolence, because it really, that always speaks to me every year, the 64 days between the memorial anniversaries of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. And so I really had a lot planned for this month. And so I'm a little disappointed that we're not going to be doing everything that we planned. But the idea that this could be political, and that what I've heard people say is that we have to take care of ourselves now. It's America first. It's we have to take care of our own. I think again that's the mentality. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little, that's running out and buying all the hand sanitizer and all the bleach and all the toilet paper. And then there's the other belief that we are all one, we are interrelated, interconnected, and we can't avoid that truth at this moment. We see how small our world actually is. We see how intricately we are connected to people in China and people in Italy and people all over the world. Not only our neighbors and the people that sit next to us on Sunday mornings. I mean, we are one. We truly are one. And so there's choices in how we look at that as well, right? And that was brought to my attention this week with all the political talk around what we're facing. And then the third thing is then truly is to focus in on the fact that these are perspectives and that we always have choice. We are always, 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 always at a moment of choice, at a place of choice. And that's so empowering when you see it that way. There's actually been reports of people in China talking about how being with their families has been a good thing. You know, to be at home with their families because they can't be out walking around doing business as normal. I mean, they work more than we do. And so us too, we have the opportunity, the choice of how we're going to look at this. Are we hunkering down? I have to admit sometimes when I hunker down for a hurricane, it's a relief because nobody's expecting me to be out there doing anything. Do you want, those in Florida get that, you know? It's kind of the same experience. So can we see this as an opportunity to go within? Can we actually see this as an opportunity to have some quiet time and a time out, so to speak, a time out? There is the opportunity for us to have the spiritual perspective. Not only that we're living in both worlds, but that we're creating from how we're behaving and how we're thinking and how we're feeling right now. We're creating our future. And so we want to be very clear about that. Of course, we're humans and we're living in the land of condition, absolutely. But we know that there is something much greater than conditions. We know that there is something much greater. There's a truth behind all conditions, and we can seek that truth. And that's our choice to do so. And when we do that, I believe that we're in balance. To me, the Centers for Spiritual Living is what each one of us are. We are a center for spiritual living. And that doesn't just happen on Sundays. That's a 24/7 call. So let's look at this thing called fear. It's the negative use of power. It's the negative use of the spiritual power that we all have to create our experiences and our lives. Ernest Holmes called it the negative use of our faith. It is faith misplaced. How about that? Faith misplaced. See, if we really believe that there's only one thing ever happening, that God, the divine source, is the substance of our lives, and it has come from the invisible into visible forms by means of us, given us this body and this experience to have. If we really believed that, would it turn on itself? Of course not. There's not an evil factor out there. There's not some other power. Yeah? We're in control of that. That's our choice of how we're seeing it. Again, Ernest Holmes said, fear arises from that mental attitude which limits the possibility and willingness of spirit to give us the good that we desire. I want you to feel that. Fear arises from the mental attitude which limits the possibility and willingness of spirit to give us the good that we desire. See, it works through us. It works through us. We can touch that thing that knows no fear, that has never known fear within us. Something beyond any doubt is within us right now, and we can touch that. You know? Right now, we can choose this to be our new truth. We can begin again. We can breathe and release that which does not serve us, does not serve our brothers and sisters, does not serve this earth, and choose again. Ernest Holmes, in his wonderful book, This Thing Called You, one of my favorites, This Thing Called You, said, don't fight our fears, see through them. That kind of sounds like resist not evil, and it will flee, right? Yeah. We need to remember that our thoughts are creative. This is Science of Mind 101. And this is also Jesus 101, right? It is done unto us as we believe. So I want to ask you to think about, what are you creating for tomorrow? What are you creating for tomorrow for yourself, and what are you creating tomorrow for our world? Fear and faith are identical. It is the same energy used differently. I've been talking about different perspectives. Well, fear and faith, same energy used differently. Fear is positive acceptance. That which I don't want, which I don't like, which I fear the most, is going to happen. That's fear. Fear is the positive acceptance that what I don't want is going to happen. Faith is the positive acceptance that what I do want, what I desire most in the world, that's going to happen. They're identical in nature. They're identical in action, but not in direction. And so how do we rid ourselves of this fear? By lifting our thoughts. By lifting our thoughts to the divine. To that thing, that power and presence which rises the sun and the moon each and every day. Yeah. That creative intelligence. That marvel beauty that we see in nature. That thing that gave birth to me and gave me free will to use this life by my own choice. You have that same freedom of choice to love and accept and support each other at this time, yourself. That's where I suggest that we spend our time. I want to share in closing just something that I read. Barbara Fields wrote. Barbara is the director of the Association for Global New Thought. And she said that individuals and societies across platforms at every level have been crying out and accusing, threatening, fighting, blaming, and separating at accelerating rates, angrily turning up the volume on our perceptions of injustice and danger, tunneling right into the core of our fear. I would agree with her that this chaos has been ramped up of late. And so with this virus swirling around us now, there really are no sides to take. There's no sides to take. It's indiscriminate. There's no collaborating and compromising. There's nothing to forgive or apologies to make. Not now. Not now. I do believe that this is a global timeout. It's a time for us to look at the decisions that we have before us and to make our choices wisely. Do we make our choices out of fear or faith? Do we make them out of love? Barbara said, will we use the time out to understand the unequivocal, you know what I'm trying to say, unequivocal demonstration of our interconnectedness and interdependence as a sacred opportunity to claim the oneness of our human family, acknowledging that our minds and behaviors must now radically change, and that no one, no nation, no institution is exempt? Or have we finally lost our collective will to live? There's a choice. I say no, we have not. No, we have not. There is an urge within each one of us, a divine urge, an urge with the capital U that wants to express itself freely and fully each and every moment, this day and tomorrow and the next. And we want that same recognition that there's an urge within all life to be expressed. And so we make our choices from that place of knowing the highest and best good for ourselves and all life is the life of the divine, in, as, and through, because it is us. This I know. This I know. Let's choose love. So it is. All right. We got something else from Lan?
Yes.
All right.
You know, there is a lot of no out there in the world right now. A lot of no, shouldn't be happening, right? And I certainly succumb to that sometimes. And I thought I'd just share, just for a moment, that my beloved and I were scheduled to be married in 1 week. And we had envisioned this beautiful ceremony with dear friends and family gathering together, and one by one our family and friends started canceling and saying, we don't feel comfortable traveling, and we kind of went inside and finally concluded that, you know what, we're going to cancel the public ceremony. But we wanted to be married, and so we will be married in a private ceremony. And so that's disappointing, and we're sad that we wouldn't be able to celebrate with our family. And we also have seen the opportunity. And the opportunity has been to really, we're just going to have us and a minister, and we can really go inside and experience the profundity and the spiritual nature of our union. So yeah, there is an opportunity. So I thought I'd share a song I've played once before, I think at CSL, and it's called I Say Yes. So I just thought about saying yes, you know, in a time of a lot of no and a lot of fear. So can we find it in ourselves to say yes to life now? And as Theresa said, we always have that choice. Downtown, office tower, window sealed shut. Got a great view of the parking lot. I am in a rut. Shopping all day, air-conditioned mall. Do I need more stuff? Gap, Target, Macy's, and the Apple Store. Oh God, I've had enough. Will I drop myself to a peaceful place in the shade of a willow tree? I say yes to everyday miracles only open eyes can see. I say yes to everyday miracles. They're all around me. Driven to distraction by each new shiny toy. But now I focus on what really matters and the things that bring me joy. I say yes to everyday miracles only open eyes can see. I say yes to everyday miracles. They're all around me. Grateful for the beauty I see. So many gifts bestowed on me. I wake up to the sweetest sound, a morning bird song choir, warmed by the glow of the rising sun. My spirit soars higher. I say yes to everyday miracles only open eyes can see. I say yes to everyday miracles. They're all around me. Even in a time of fear, they're all around me. I say yes to everyday miracles. Only open eyes. say yes. Everyday miracles, they're all around me. They're all around me.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, that was fabulous. Wasn't that great? That was great.
Yes.
Thank you, Len.
Yes.
Thank you.
I have no doubt we can pull this off. We can continue to do this as long as we need to do it. I want to give you a reminder that we would still appreciate your support of this ministry. There's a link on our Facebook page and probably the post just before this video.
Just underneath it.
Just underneath this video. It's a PayPal link. There's also our address. You can mail us a check if you'd like. You can also, if you're on our email list, there's a pay button on our email that comes out weekly, and you can use that as well, and we do appreciate it. I wanted to let you know that we would love to have your feedback. I will look into the watch party things so that you can have an opportunity to feel the connection with the other people that are watching. I understand we've got quite a few of you, and so that's very exciting, and we appreciate that. And so give us feedback throughout the week. Call me, however you want to get feedback to me. We definitely want to hear it. And if you aren't on our email list, then I would say, why don't you get on our email list? So you can email us at info@cslculturalcoast.org. info@cslculturalcoast.org. We will be rescheduling the Circle Up for Peace weekend workshop that we had planned at the end of the month that Reverend Cindy Grimes is doing with us, and we will because that's important work for us to be doing for our own selves and for the world. So we won't cancel it, we'll just postpone it, and we will reschedule. I want to tell you about something else new that just came up this morning. Julie Birch, our wonderful member and meditation teacher, has offered to do a meditation Thursday evenings via Zoom. From 6:30 to 7:30, we have a professional Zoom account, so we have unlimited, I believe, number of people that can be on there, and so we will make that happen. Watch for more information about that. Again, you want to be on our email list or be following our Facebook page so you can get all this information. And with that, thank you so much for being here with us. Just thank you so much, and I'm knowing just the highest and best for you. And now I'm going to turn it over to Bobby, my beloved. Thank you.
Got to kind of hold the tripod.
God.
Sorry, we didn't do rehearsal on that. And then just push behind the camera.
Oh,
There
we
Oh,
go.
Beautiful. Professional showbiz.
Totally.
So we're going to close partly with this prayer called Pandemic, and it's by Lynn Unger of the Oneness CSL in Ellicott, Maryland. What if you thought of it as the Jews consider the Sabbath, the most sacred of times? Cease from travel, cease from buying and selling, give up, just for now, on trying to make the world different than it is. Sing, pray, touch only those to whom you commit your life. Center down, and when your body has become still, reach out with your heart. Know that we are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful. You could hardly deny it now. Know that our lives are in one another's hands. Surely that has become clear. do not reach out your hands. Reach out your heart. Reach out your words. Reach out all the tendrils of compassion that move invisibly where we cannot touch. Promise this world your love. For better or for worse, in sickness and in health, so long as we all shall live. Know that there are prayer partners available to you. Elaine Silver, Tom Dieter, and me, we're all reachable. Info at cslculturalcoast.org if you're looking to connect with us.
Button right there on Facebook.
Oh, I'm sorry?
There's a button right there on Facebook.
Button on Facebook to connect with us if you're in need of prayer support. And so let's close with this song called Let It Shine. There's a light in the center of everyone. Can light up the world just like the sun. There's a flame within us that can light our way. It can burn away the darkness of a troubled day. Let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine. Whenever you see darkness, you've got to know that the light is within you. Everywhere you go, whatever you are facing, whatever's on your mind, you can help illuminate it. Let your light shine. Say it. Let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine. Whatever you are facing, whatever's on your mind, you can help illuminate it. Let your light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine. Let it shine, let it shine.